Welcome to Southend TV. Today I'm here with Major David House from the Salvation Army. Hi David, nice to
Morning,
meet you.
good to see you.
Can you give me a brief description about the Salvation Army, please?
Well, I think for the majority of people, the Salvation Army's description is probably a bit of a surprise because we're a church. And a tremendous number of people just tend to think that we're a social agency with all of the practical and social work that we do. But first and foremost, we're a church and we just want to reach out to people in practical ways.
Okay, and what are your main values and beliefs?
Well, the main values and beliefs are based on the Bible. As a mainstream church, we base all our beliefs on the Bible. We believe that anybody has a chance to start again. Nobody can be so bad as to be beyond the chance that God gives to start again. And other than that, we're the same as any other church, just slightly different in the way that we play the game.
Okay, and I read somewhere there's over 800 parishes now in the UK. How do people get involved in that? How do you encourage people to become part of the Salvation Army?
Okay, well, anyone can come along to any of the church services. That's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter what your background is, if you're used to church or not. The actual style of church is probably mid-range between the very evangelical, excitable, charismatic churches and the very formalised high Anglican church, Catholic churches. We're quite relaxed. We enjoy a bit of humour in our services, and we just like to make people feel comfortable. So it's quite a relaxed but a respectful style.
And music plays a huge part in it as well, doesn't it?
It does
when
indeed.
You see the brass bands along the high streets. It's
Yes.
quite a moment.
Well, the music's always been important to the Salvation Army, and it's very helpful to have that because if we think of a parish church, it would be very difficult to take the church organ into the street and use for background accompaniment, but with a brass band you can take it anywhere you want. And again, the music isn't just random music, it carries its own message, and so people are able to sense something that the Spirit's speaking to them through the music and the words associated with the music.
And you take quite current music as well, don't you, with a Christian twist, isn't it? That's what appeals to the younger audience as well.
Yes, well, even back in the earliest days of the Salvation Army, before the constraints of copyright and so on, William Booth, the founder, was said to say, "Why should the devil have all the good music?" And at that time they were meeting in dance halls and theatres for their services, and they were taking the current music of the day. Champagne Charlie, for instance, was one of the well-known choruses, and they would write new words to it. Of course, nowadays it's a little bit more difficult with copyright, but we still like to keep our music contemporary and give a nice mix of modern and traditional music.
Great. Also, so you're known for helping people that are struggling, that are really suffering in life. What approach do you adopt? How do you deal with them? What's your...
Okay, well, everyone has the right to accept or reject any offers of help.
Yeah.
We wouldn't impose ourselves on anyone. Quite often we are there and people will know that we're there and be signposted towards us by other agencies in the community. And we don't force feed our scriptural principles onto people. We offer them the practical help that they need, often without any discrimination whatsoever. And hopefully the conversation will come around to, well, why are you doing this? Why are you bothering to help me? And we then have the opportunity to say, well, you're valuable to God. You're a child of God and we want to help you to...
So they normally approach you, or do you go out and seek...
Well, the Salvation Army is often in different parts of the country, and in fact in 127 countries around the world. The approach is slightly different depending upon the need and the circumstance of where they are. So in some places they're very overt in going out into the towns, and London, for instance, they're very much engaged with the homeless projects and those sleeping rough, and they have soup runs in many of the areas they have that. In other places, Leigh, for instance, we don't have a great homelessness problem, but we do have a problem for elderly care and childcare. So we have different things.
Each area, basically.
Yes. So in some places we will be very proactive in going out to find the people. In others,
so
the facility is based at the
homelessness
centre.
in Southend is obviously a big focus in the parish here.
Yes, and the Salvation Army in Southend itself works very closely in that particular field.
Okay, so if myself or any of the Southend TV viewers want to come and contact you, or
Mhm.
you know, be a part of this amazing organisation, what do we do?
Okay. Well, you'll find us in any telephone directory for those of you who still know how to use those.
Okay.
Or if you want to simply Google the Salvation Army, Leigh-on-Sea, Southend, Shoebury, whichever one it is you live in, then that would direct you to contact us by that means, and you
What's
have
the
all the
website
contact
address,
details.
please? What was?
www.salvationarmy.org.uk,
Brilliant.
and that will then direct you to the local ones that you need.
Thank so much, David. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thanks for listening.